All right, team. This is our game against Illini. This is game 3 specifically. We didn't end up taking the series, but that's all right. We got a lot of stuff to work on. I think overall in this series we played really well offensively, but there's some defensive stuff I think we can work on. I wrote some notes on my phone, so we'll kind of go through those as I go through this replay. I'm going to try to get everyone in one big replay and talk about some greater team things. So let's dive right in. I'll actually start off by just doing top-down view. I do want to look at this 50 actually and how we took that. Let's go back one more. Because this is really awkward since we missed on kickoff like that and they got possession. I maybe would have liked for you to, once he slows down and doesn't touch it right here, now he can't accelerate the ball a lot, so I'd like for you to just run at him and dive. Because Berto is right there to the left, I think if you just tackle this over the top of his car, you'll get possession, you'll have a really good attacking opportunity. So a little thing right there. Fine, they get possession. You take it around. Okay, all this is just fine so far. Ideally, we would have 50'd that right there, but whatever. Okay, here's my first note that I wrote down. This pass midfield, this would be a good pass typically, but you have to make sure that you have a teammate middle first before you pass it. So you take it up the wall. You have enough information. You can see that nobody is middle. And so it would be fine to just not flip into this. Maybe you're thinking that Crop Duster could get to this in time. You had enough time to take in the information and then change your plan of what you're going to do. If you see that nobody's middle, you can just follow right behind this ball and try to get a 50. Or air dribble it, try to get a pass, whatever you want to do, instead of just passing it to the opposing team and just giving away possession. We had a really good breakaway there, and we kind of just gave it away just because we didn't look to see if there's anyone middle to pass to before we passed it. Now, honestly, there really should have been someone middle, I think, from teammates' perspectives. Let's see what this looks like. Odds are, I think Apothic could have stayed there a little bit longer. Yeah, there's no reason to be getting back this fast when Crop Duster's already in net and we have possession of the ball. I think I would have liked for you, Apothic, to grab this mid boost a little bit slower, stay out wide, and be ready to turn in, because then you would have been able to turn in on this ball here. So, from you, Apothic, I think you didn't need to go back post that fast. You could have just stayed downfield a little bit and wide. From Crop Duster, let's see what we could have done here. You go for that challenge, you get bumped. Ooh, you can't flip right here. You cannot. You have 50 boosts, you're fine. You cannot do a committal option like this when you're not sure what your teammate's going to do. Because if you didn't flip, you would have been able to adjust your trajectory in 50 with that person on the ball right there. So all three of you guys, I think, made a mistake and could have done something to cover your other teammates' mistakes there. All right, let's keep going. From electric step, let's look at this clear here. Okay, so this is a really big thing that I noticed throughout this entire series and just in general through all of our games so far this year. We need to be better about making these touches right here in the corner. So you have this space here. When you have this space, you need to go as sideways as possible. Ideally, you can even grab the corner boost, but you have to take it away from the opponent. So that way, even if you 50, we're 50ing in the corner. And it's just going to be harder for people to challenge you. Like this guy's pointing towards the net right now. So if you put it behind him as much as possible, it's going to be harder for him to turn all the way over there rather than just turning a little bit and cutting off this angle. So I would really like you to try as hard as you can to get a touch that's like as sideways as possible going this way. Don't hit the ball here, hit it sideways, and then you can push it forward. You just have to make sure you get it past this person first, because watch what you did. we hit it forward. If you just go as fast as you can, make sure you beat this guy to the sidewall, like flip it over here. That would have been so much better of a touch. So we'll watch it one more time. I know it was a little bit awkward because you had like a 50 that happened right in front of you. But I definitely think you could have reacted in time to flip that to the side. Once again, I think you just want a 50 here. So once you make the play here, you have plenty of boosts. You're trying to greed by getting a beat right here. Like, you're just not going to get a beat here. You have to just follow behind the ball, not under it. So that way you don't get dunked. Because your teammates are kind of expecting you to at least get a 50 here. And now you're going to get dunked and nobody's going to be ready for that. And then from Crop Duster here. Okay, we'll go back to here. Okay, so when you're in this position, when you're transitioning into defense, and you're probably going to be the first one to get a touch on the ball, you have to make sure, so it's fine that you grab this boost and turn around, but you need to grab the boost and immediately go over here towards midfield. So you grab boost, and then you need to go on the inside of this ball, because you're going to want to catch the ball, roll it up the wall and around. So you're going to want to like catch it somewhere here, take it up the wall here, and then take it up over here. You're going to want to do something like that, or you can take it up the wall and then out from there. But you don't want to catch the ball going this way. That is a big no-no. Big no-no. You don't want to do that. If you catch the ball going towards midfield, you're probably going to pass it to them. You also won't have any information on this ball, which is why you want to do the safest option. So, like, 19 times out of 20, you're going to be catching this ball from the inside, rolling it up the backboard or across the sidewall. You are never going to be catching this ball from the outside cutting in. Because watch what happens. You catch it from the outside, you don't get the cleanest catch, and now it instantly turns dangerous for us. Where if you would have done the same thing and not gotten the best touch, it would have just like bounced off the wall, stayed in the corner, and honestly, you maybe could have just stayed on it. So it makes a world of a difference. Literally, we should have possession of the ball, and one small mistake like that led to them having a very threatening position. Luckily, we all have boost, but yeah, so we got to fix that. I feel like they almost scored from there. Okay, team pinch. I would have rather you not team pinch. You only want to team pinch if neither of you like have any other options, but you guys have so much field to work with, and it's a one-on-one. So I'd rather you not team pinch there. Oh yeah, and we got to do. Oh, this is something for you, Crop Duster, specifically. You did this a handful of times throughout the whole series. I really want you to work on this. Find a good training pack, or literally you can do it in free play using the D-pad things. You need to be better at catching these. Maybe you need to do the dribble training course. I don't know, but you missed these catches too many times. This should be something you don't even have to think about, because you'd have a really threatening shot if you're able to catch that. You can just catch that, get a good flick, and then you could have a really good chance to score. And instead, we just give them a free possession. We just can't afford for that to happen. So practice that. Okay, we need to have more pressure than this. We're really spread out here. Part of me thinks it's because Crop Duster went all the way back for boost. I think you maybe could have grabbed pads, but whatever. Nice, good challenge there. Yes, this was my next note. So, as for you, Electric Step. Okay, you get this ball here. You need to make sure that you are going as vertical as possible. You cannot take this towards their net at all. If you take it towards their net, literally, even though this guy has 0 boost, he can just challenge it from the backboard. And the closer it is to the backboard, the less options you have, because one, like, look at this angle on the net. That's going to be really hard to score that. And then two, your teammates aren't going to be able to commit because it's going to be too close to the opponents. So if you end up trying to pass it, it just won't go through. So you have to make sure you're taking this ball straight up and then out. Honestly, sometimes even maybe a little bit backwards, and then you can kind of just collect it and push it back in if you have full boost. Which you don't quite have full boost, but you have enough to do something with. So if we look at how you took this, like you have all the time in the world, and you are just like almost deliberately pushing it forward. I don't think this is mechanical error. I do think this is decision making. Like, look, that guy Nova was able to just challenge from the backboard easily. Think about how many times you're playing defense and you're sitting on the backboard, somebody takes it off the sidewall around here, and you're like, oh, it's just a little bit too awkward of a distance and too far away for me to jump off and contest from the air, but it's also too scary for the person in net to jump from the ground. But this guy had the easiest contest ever from the backboard because you're too close to it. You want to put them in that awkward spot. So again, here we had time. I want to look at this from your perspective and see why we didn't utilize this time. Nah, I guess you don't know for sure. That's fine. You probably just could have got a better touch. Okay, there's no need to jump for this ball. There's no need whatsoever to go now. You can just stay grounded, wait and give yourself a little bit more information, and then once you see that nobody can contest you, you could just catch this on the ground. If you were waiting and you're like, oh shoot, they are actually up way before me, like what are they going to do if they jump that early on that ball? All they can do is shoot it really low. You could just then catch the shot and take it to the corner. So there was absolutely no need to go up for this ball because you can't do anything with that ball, and if you just waited to catch on the ground, you would have been able to do everything with that ball. Okay, I can start to see why our defense is probably going to fall apart here. Look how stacked you guys are. When you're on defense, and especially when you're low boost, the goal is to take super low committal options, either not jumping or just single jumping, or maybe a really low flip or 50 that's going to slow things down, and not have to aerial, so you can save as much boost as possible, not commit to anything, and buy your teammates time so that they can go get boost. So in this position, you have Crop Duster ready to challenge. That's going to buy a lot of time for you to go get boosts. I mean, it doesn't look like this full boost is here, but you can at least grab this boost pad. You have to split up and you have to stack properly. You guys are too stacked, too close. You need to spread out and be ready for that like perfect rhythm of one person, the next person, the next person. You guys are way too on top of each other. We're going to go back even more and look at how this happened. Maybe even one more than that. Okay. So it starts with you taking this awkward touch. Crop Duster gets bumped. You hesitate to go for this. I think you could have just gone back, or you could have turned forward and gotten bumps. Crop Duster should be trying to rotate back as fast as he can. And then at this point, you should see the Crop Duster's in front of you, and you should just slow down and let him go, and then you go behind him. And now we have like gaps in our defense. If you would have slowed down, you could have been like here right now with one more boost and momentum, ready to like stop this pass. Or what you could have done if you were that close, instead of doing that little like forward reverse thing that you did, go in the net and point out when somebody's like in our corner, because now you have vision of the field and you can stop. You can go forward and stop passes like this. So I would have liked you to do one of those two options. Now we're really scared. Luckily, they're bad, and they weren't ready to capitalize on our mistake. Okay, we had possession right there. We all got close to the ball and then just turned around with full boost. I don't know what happened there. Why did that happen? Let me make sure I didn't miss any of my notes real quick. Okay, nope, we're good. Okay, so we're here. We have momentum. We're attacking. Potha gets bumped off. Crop Duster, you need to be ready to go for this. There's no reason that you should be turning away from this ball right now. You should be going for it, and even if you aren't going to hit the ball, you should be following up so that if they jump first and hit it over you, you're forcing them to do something. Now we all just turn away and they just get a free ball. Okay, now my other note that I wrote here is this is something else we can do a lot better on defense. When you have a ball like this that you're trying to clear, but you know that you can't get like a super strong booming clear all the way to the other side of the field, you need to focus on hitting the ball as high as you can. Don't think about hitting it forward. I mean, you want to hit it forward a little bit, but try to hit it as high as possible on these. So if you single jump and save your flip, you can just kind of hit the bottom of the ball and flip into it. And you can hit it really, really high from a position like this. You didn't even flip into it. You just double jumped, and that's not going to do anything. But if you just single jump and flip into this ball, you can get it so high. Now, why do you want to get it high, right? You want to clear the ball high so that you can buy as much time as possible. Just like I talked about earlier, buying time for your teammate to get boosts and get back and get into a solid position, you want to hit it high. These guys want to speed this play up and find the gaps in our defense as fast as possible so we can't close them. So if you hit it high, they're forced to wait. Also, this guy's a little bit too close. If you hit it high and he wanted to go for this ball, he'd have to go straight up at this ball, which would not be threatening the net. He would just be kind of going towards the backboard, again, buying more time. Also, sometimes people like look at this guy. He has to respect you hitting the ball forward as hard as you can. So if you hit it forward, it would roll right to him, so he'd be able to collect it. If you hit it high, you're not going to be hitting it as far. And sometimes your teammates who are behind you can actually go up for that ball and beat that last back or 50 with them. So basically, I hope that made sense. Basically, every time you're clearing the ball and you can't get a super good clear, just try to hit it as high as possible. Pop it up so that your team can come follow the ball up rather than passing it directly to them. Because this touch right here, that's not good enough. If you hit it high, it might have gone over that person, and then Electric Step might have been able to collect it, actually, and it would have been a one-on-one. This is fine. I do want to see that again from Apothic's perspective, because I think we might have been able to get a better touch from the backboard. You did get awkward. If there's a way you could have... Yeah, I mean, you could have read that a little bit and have already been driven down and tried to meet it on the ground. But that's really tough. Let's assume that you just didn't do that and you're doing what you did right here. I guess this guy is kind of on you. Yeah, you guys end up pitching in. That's why I went so far. You see, this is that awkward distance I was talking about earlier. You see, it's that awkward distance where he can't jump off the backboard to contest it yet. This is what you want to be doing with your air dribbles. You also were just watching for too long, Apothic. You should have been pre-flipping on that ball. And when you are pre-flipping, you got to get between the ball and the goal here. Like, you're trying too hard to hit the ball. You just have to put yourself in between. So he might still be able to hit it around you, but if he hits it around you, he's going to have to pass off the backboard, which gives somebody another chance at least. And then I think Electric Step got bumped too. That was also scary. How did this happen? Okay, so they kind of get first touch off kickoff. B50 with them, goes out. Ooh, Crop Duster missed boost, didn't you? Yep, that's what happened. Crop Duster missed boost. If you had boost, you're going to 50 that ball with him. Again, I think we can get a better touch right there. Like, you have time here. I'm going to pause right here, kind of play imagination game. Think about the options that you can do. You can pause the video. Honestly, even for Crop Duster and Apothic, you can kind of pause the video right here. Think about different options that are possible and what you can do from this spot. Some of the things that I think you can do, the first one that comes to mind, I think probably the best, is to like try to flip into this ball so it rolls up the wall. I think you can do that by going to the left side of the ball and side flipping it. Then it'll roll up the wall and you can follow it that way. An idea would be you can kind of like go on this side and like power slide cut this way, but odds are since he's on the left side of the ball, you'd get dunked that way. You could just try to take a 50. I think you have him beat, so I think you can get a beat and maintain possession, so I think you'd want to do that. I think, yeah, ideally you'd want to roll it up the wall. If you are going to hit it off the side wall, we'll go back again and watch. I think you have to just drive into it and chip it, just like hook shot it, like turn as you hit it, and it'll like hook shot to yourself. I think that's a good option as well. But we got to do more off that. We just pass it to him. Good catch. I like that you went for the flick into the bump. That's always a good idea. There's no reason to be flipping into this ball here. There's no reason. Even if you thought someone was going to challenge, you wouldn't want to flip into the ball like that. Like, we just gave the ball away. That was a not very good play. Okay, how do they score off it? I mean, one of the main reasons is we just gave them the ball for free. Gave them the ball for free. And then we missed that. How do we miss that? You have to just cover one or the other. So one, you're a little bit too close. I would have rather you, instead of like reversing, just do a little circle so you can be like here. This is like where the threat really is going to happen. Either he's going to double it into net or he's going to miss. So if you just wait right here, you'd be able to cover both options by waiting. If you are going to pre-jump like this, you can't pre-jump in a way that you're going to cover both options. I mean, from here, there's no way you can cover him hitting it on net and him missing. So you just have to hard pick one. I think it looks like you're trying to hard read him missing, and you just like do it real bad. But I would rather you just like have stayed grounded. Like if this guy wasn't there at all, and you knew that this guy was here still, I think you still would have just stayed grounded. So if you are going to just pick the option that he's missing, you have to play like that guy doesn't exist. Then you definitely would have just stayed grounded. We would have had that ball. We get scored on because of that. So 2 mistakes right there led to that goal. Sometimes on situations like this crop duster, where the ball bounces up like that, I think you just, this is a little hard to know if you're going to beat him to this ball or not. Sometimes the best thing to do is to just grab boost and get demos. This guy has no threatening position. All he can do is wrap around. I mean, I guess I figured you'd have someone behind you, but still, it could be fine to just not hit this ball, grab boost, let this guy get the ball, because all he can do is wrap it around the sidewall, which is not threatening, and kill this guy. And then you have boost, you circle around, let your teammate pick up the slack. Because you're getting beat here anyway, and honestly, even if you did hit the ball, like, so what? Like, I guess you might have someone middle, but you're probably not going to get a super good pass from here. The ball's like glued to their backboard, so it would have been better to just not go for it. But that's a phenomenal pass and shot. This is what I was talking about earlier when I said that you guys played really, really well on offense. You guys were doing a lot of midfield passes, and I love that. Yeah, and then we just get beat there. How do we? Oh yeah, I wanted to see how we got beat so badly on this. Mess this up. What did they do that we didn't? Oh, he wasn't the person who half flipped to boost. They had that person cheat up. Weird. Yeah, that typically doesn't happen. Interesting. Oh well, I won't stay on that one for too long. Yeah, unfortunately we didn't get the double there. It was a good attempt. So once again here, when we have space, what do we need to do? We have space, we play parallel, we play sideways. So they give the ball away right here. We need to not front flip into this ball, we need to side flip it so that it goes this way and we can follow it. If we hit it that way, we are going to get to this ball first every time. But because we hit it forward, now we're hitting it away from ourselves and towards the opponents. And I guess this guy could have been on this ball, but he was just expecting it to go up the wall. He wasn't expecting it to come out. I mean, look at that. Still, he had time to turn around and then go forward again and still get to this ball at the same time as you. Where if you just hit this sideways over here this way, boom, you're taking it up the wall. It's like free play, right? You had full boost, or maybe you didn't have full boost, but you had enough. We got to make sure we're capitalizing on that. We get a goal off that? Wait. Oh yeah, it was a great shot. And a good 52. I don't know how Nova didn't hit that though, I'm not gonna lie. Good placement though. Is good. I like our pressure. Like our offensive rotation and pressure is really, really good. Ooh, Apothic, I think you could have been ready for that. Let's look at this again. We'll go back to 2. Okay, so you go through, you grab this boost. Okay. Yeah, you just need to put yourself in a position that you're covering this option. I think that flip towards midfield is a little bit too much. I'd rather have you go to like this pad. If you're on this pad right now, you could jump and you can contest this. So you just went a little bit too middle too soon. So just be careful when you grab this pad, this boost pad right here. That, I mean, if the ball's grounded, then you can be a little bit more aggressive towards midfield because it's probably not going to pop over your head. But if the ball's high on the wall, you want to stay out wider. So the ball can't get over your head. So you just went a little bit too close there. And that's why you had to slow down, made it awkward. Yeah. Oh, this pass too. Okay, so I wrote in my notes that this pass has to be a roller. Maybe you wanted it to, but you just couldn't get there. Let's see this again. Oh, you totally could have hit that as a roller. Okay, so you need to recognize this situation a lot. This is very, very common. That you can get it behind one person. Our teammate is going in a straight line in the same like direction as the ball here. And you can get it behind somebody, and this person, it's like also behind this person, right? If this person were covering like here and our person were like behind them, then you want to hit a lob shot over this person so that our teammate can score behind them. But in like football, this is basically the equivalent of our teammate running a quick slant. So they're going to be cutting across midfield when they have defenders behind them. So you want to hit a roller going at them on the ground so that way they can just boom, just cut in and attack that ball. If you hit it in the air, they're not going to be able to cut in as quick. And if they do cut in, it's very, very telegraphed what they're going to do. If the ball's on the ground, they can choose whatever timing they want to cut in. They can delay it. They can do it instantly. They can shoot a roller. They can pop it off the backboard to themselves and go for a double. They can just put it top corner. They can do anything when the ball's a roller. So if you ever have the opportunity to get a roller to your teammate, 9 times out of 10, you want to take that. And you easily could have done that just by getting above the ball here. So you don't need boost for it or anything. You just want to like jump now. It's because so you get above the ball and then hit it. That would have been perfect. So we got to make sure that's a roller. Could have sent it to overtime. Patience on that. Yeah, 8 seconds. We're just doing whatever we can here. Yeah. Okay, so overall, hopefully there was some helpful stuff in there. Like the roller, like making sure we play sideways, checking to make sure our teammates are there first before we go. One of the big ones, or 2 big ones, is when how we clear the ball. So when we clear the ball, we want to clear it as close to our backboard as we can and in the same direction and parallel so we can take it around. We have to control these boosts as much as possible. And then when we are trying to like clear the ball forward like this, aim for height, not always distance. Sometimes you can aim for distance if like it's a bouncer right in front of you and you're hitting it right after it bounces on the ground. But when it's like a half volley like we saw before, where you're kind of hitting the ball in the air, flip into it and try to just get it as high as you can in the air. So that way it buys time for our team and maybe the people behind us can go and 50 it. When you do hit it high, try to hit it high towards the sides. Don't hit it high too much to the sides if there's an opponent on the backboard, because then they can get to it and still get possession. But hit it high and make it awkward distance from the backboard. Sometimes that's going to be across, sometimes midfield, sometimes near the side. But yeah, height almost always better when you're trying to clear the ball.